So we're with Kevin Bethune, author of Reimagining Design, newly released from MIT Press. Kevin Bethune, congratulations on your new book.
I really appreciate you. Appreciate all the support.
Well, thank you for making sure your eyes on the road, because you are a sophisticated strategic designer, so you know that driving and safety is super important. So first off, the cover of the book is captivating. Can you talk about the cover, Kevin?
Yes, definitely want to shout out my teammate on it, Emily at the MIT Press. We had a nice collaboration, and I appreciate the press being open to what we wanted to do for the cover. But the visual is an abstraction of a looking glass looking at the distant time horizon. So just sort of an inference toward the future and where we're potentially going.
Wow, I saw the cover and I thought it was abstract. But as with all design, there's something underneath it, the sort of secret sauce. So why looking glass? Why? That sounds symbolic to you as an artist.
I think I look at future scenarios, future foresight as sort of a broader canvas for design. And it's not meant to just shape scenarios by a bunch of 2x2s. I think with any canvas, you can paint with all kinds of materials and mediums to bring to life new stories. And the future is a wide open canvas of possibilities, plausibilities, where we can have a ton more fun as designers and creatives in general to shape hopefully better futures for us all.
Well, I noticed that when I flipped through your book, the figures are all hand-drawn by yourself. Like, what is that about, Kevin? Are you a control person, or what is it? No, I think through my journey, especially in recent chapters, the idea of sketching out visuals to help people synthesize or galvanize around an idea, going to the whiteboard naturally, and getting the room in a different sort of angle of conversation with the power of visuals. Visualization is always a big part of my DNA, I believe, as a problem solver. So I wanted to bring that into the book, and I appreciate MIT giving me the latitude to do that on the figures. Wow. I mean, many books have a lot of clip art figures, and I noticed that yours had this hand-drawn feel, but you're saying that it's part of your process from the consulting world, being a business thinker, engineering thinker, and a design thinker. You would walk into a room and start drawing, it sounds like. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm naturally an introvert by nature, and so I'm not the alpha personality in the room, steering the agenda always. But I have found in my recent
T-shape.
in my recent history, there were these bubblings of conviction where, even though I was the quieter person in the room, while the folks were talking, I would just get up out of the seat and go to the whiteboard and just start drawing. And I would draw with respect, listening to the conversation, of course. And I would shape visuals that would basically help the room synthesize around the imperatives that mattered the most. And then it gave me license to insert my voice over the drawings, and I had the attention of the room. So drawing has always been my special way of contributing to a strategic conversation.
Whoa, did you hear that, folks? That was extremely deep, because Kevin is, as you can notice, super humble person, and he's very focused on ensuring we're safe here, which is important. When you see these highly produced shows of people driving, they have rigs and everything. We're doing this with 2 phones here. So this notion that an introvert can be an alpha by drawing during the meetings is what I'm taking away, because the superpower is listening. The superpower is processing, and to visualize it, maybe the alpha has the loudest voice in the room, but the visualizing introvert can really not be everyone's voice together, it sounds like. Is that right? That sounds kind of wonderful.
Yep, it's like the opportunity to give the room a canvas in a way. And then the conversation gets richer. We're anchoring off of key parts of an infographic that's on the whiteboard, and we could have a lot more fun. And we could sketch out a journey. We could sketch out a storyboard of user experience. I think, in my experience, the room really feels this creative catalysis, if that's even a word. This creative accelerant just gets injected into the room, and the conversations just get a lot more fun.
Well, that really explains this term I learned recently from Margaret Stewart at Facebook. She has such great terminology. It's called situational extrovert. And it almost sounds like a visual introvert becomes a situational extrovert when they get up at that board.
Indeed, I agree.
So it's kind of so if you are an introvert out there who really wants to contribute that, and you can draw. Now, people say they can't draw. Now, you are an incredible illustrator. So what do you say to folks who are learning how to be a situational extrovert as a design thinker who say, like, I really can't draw as well as Kevin?
Yeah, I think there's a number of ways. Like I would say, don't fear the whiteboard marker. Just go for it. Chicken scratch is okay. I think some of the best ideas have come from folks that grabbed the marker who didn't know how to draw, but they didn't have the hesitation to express an idea. I don't care if it's stick figures. You can still tell a story by whatever skill you have. And drawing may not be the thing. You might make something. You know, if an engineer might be in the room and they can just go run off, go make a quick prototype and come back to the room and show something, that's problem solving too. So we need to reward all kinds of modalities of ways that people can contribute in the room, especially the strategy room.
Wow, do you hear that? Because making is a kind of extroverting is what Kevin's saying.
Indeed. It isn't always about talking. And I've had, other mentors in addition to my friend in the passenger seat who encouraged me to lead by example through the work, by the act of making. And sometimes, like, you can come in without talking and show your team, or show the multidisciplinary team around the strategy table the way by just making something. It could be a sketch, it could be a prototype, it could be something hobbled together with hot glue and foam core. But just making speaks 1,000 words beyond what talking could ever do.
Whoa. Okay, so Reimagining Design is out. It is something that Kevin made. It was his situational extroverting, and it's making waves. Can you give the audience out there the one reason why they think they should pick up your book?
I think if I need help on this one.
He's very humble, so this is going to be hard.
I think they should pick it up if they want to hear just someone's story of lived personal and professional experience. I tell a story about how design ultimately changed my life. And through the interesting work that I've had the privilege of being a part of, I've watched it change organizations too. It's less about design thinking and more about design's positioning and what you can get when you sort of appreciate and respect that. But I think it also galvanizes creativity for everyone, not just design. And everyone can sort of play a hand in shaping what is possible for our future.
Let me be the Kevin translator and the closer here, not saying he needs one. It's the kind of book that if you don't know why you are curious about so many things and aren't sure how to put them together, he's put them together in his own mix. So check it out. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
All right.